Hello and welcome to a very personal episode of Screenwriting Uncut. My name is Jeff Ballo. I'm the author of Writing Fast and the creator of Fast Screenplay. And in about 2 months, I'm going to do something that I'm excited and absolutely terrified of. And that is I'm about to deliver my very first TED Talk. I've been invited to a TEDx event in Melbourne, Australia. And so over the past couple of weeks, I've started putting together my talk and looking at other TED Talks and revisiting some of my favorites. And along the way, I sort of rediscovered one of my favorite TED Talks, which is by a guy named Simon Sinek, and it's called How Great Leaders Inspire Action. And the gist of the talk is that you always want to start with why. That people don't really care what you do, they care why you do it. This is something that's always resonated with me because that's why I've tried to share with you all these uncut videos, all the videos here on YouTube. I've been sort of desperately trying to explain that, why did I build Fast Screenplay? Why do I even teach screenwriting it? It's because I couldn't find screenplays to produce. I wanted to build this independent film studio. But, as I've been thinking about it after watching this video and really contemplating Start With Why at a deeper level, I've realized that I guess I haven't really shared with you the real why, the underlying why. Why do I want to build an independent film studio? Why do I want to make up to 6 films a year? And when you tap into the thing that you're truly passionate about, when you tap into the thing that is the source of what you're about and what you want to do, it's a little scary to put it out there to the world because, then you open yourself up to get shot down or to be ridiculed or called crazy or whatever. But that's really what I think I have to do. And I think that's sort of the next step in my personal journey. So I'd like to share that with you now, and maybe hopefully through me sharing my experience, it'll help you find your own why. So to really understand my why, let me share a little bit more about me. I have 3 major passions in life. Number 1 is travel. I will go anywhere. I love meeting people from different cultures. I started traveling at a very young age. I was fortunate enough that my father worked for the airlines, so we flew around a lot. And I got to really love seeing how different people lived. And because I could always learn something. I could always take something away from their unique perspective. That's always been a great passion for me. Secondly, is film. I've always loved film. I love movies. I love the movie making process. But even sort of on a broader level, I love communication. I love the whole idea that human beings communicate, that I have these ideas in my head, and through effective communication, I can put those ideas in your head, and vice versa. You can take those ideas in your head and put them into my head. I can sit and talk about sort of the meaning of life and, the grand philosophical issues well into the night with anybody. The third sort of major passion that I have is the future. I'm a big future geek. I love technology. I love thinking about where we're going to be in 20 years, in 30 years, in 50 years, in 100 or 1,000 years. I love thinking about these things. I like looking at where we are, where we've been, and how those things are likely to affect where we're going. I like to anticipate sort of that future that's racing toward us. And maybe because of my unique sort of journey through life and those unique passions, along the way, I've sort of formulated, my vision of what the future will be. And in many ways, I actually think that humanity is not really prepared for the future that's racing toward us. So if I'm honest about my deeper why I want to make an independent film studio that makes 3 to 6 films a year, it's to sort of prepare humanity for what I think the future holds. Now, if I went out and made a bunch of films that were my vision, my passion, and shared them with the world, that would be one sort of unique vision. But ultimately, the future is comprised not just of, one man's vision of the future, but of all of our sort of collective vision of the future. So in some ways, what I've always wanted to do is make multiple films from multiple voices where we sort of sort of accept some of the same basic ideas about the future. Things like the fact that technology is racing forward at this exponential pace, and that poses with it enormous opportunities and really big, incredible dangers and challenges that we face. And I believe that the human mind, the human brain exists to solve problems. We have this very unique thing, unique as far as we know, in our world, our universe at least, and that is imagination. We can imagine something that does not exist and build it, or if it's a danger, avert it. We can actually change things because of the fact that we can perceive beyond our immediate present. Now, ultimately, that is something that I think can change the world. And so ultimately, to me, teaching you screenwriting is one tiny little component of the grand picture. When I couldn't find screenplays to produce, it wasn't just about, finding a zombie film or finding a action film. I don't just want to make films just for entertainment. I do want to make films that are mainstream entertaining, because then you'll reach sort of the widest array of people. But I want those films to open people's eyes and to open people's, minds to the possibilities, the dangers, the challenges, all the different sort of aspects of who we are, what we're about, and where we're going, but specifically about where we're going. So when I couldn't find the screenplays to produce, I had to build this sort of system, Fast Screenplay, to take people through this entire process, because you really do need to have screenplays at a legitimately professional level, but not just screenplays. They need to be deeply quality. They need to be extraordinary. They need to be something that can touch people and really inspire people, I think. I'm a big believer that every single one of us is intrinsically unique. We have very different DNA, you and I. We have very different experiences in our lives, you and I. So just starting off, we're very different people physically. Now, add to that the fact that we see the world in very unique windows. The things that you've seen in your life, I will never see, and vice versa. So that, combined with your unique brain chemistry, gives you an imagination that no one else in all of the history or all of the future will ever have. And so that means that you literally do have stories and insights and ideas inside you that nobody else ever will. And I believe that that's why we're here, is to share those things, to contribute to sort of this global civilization, this humanity, and our sort of forward trajectory. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people that sort of apologize for humanity and sort of worry that we're ruining everything. And I think, our potential, our essence, our nature is to imagine. Our ability is to be able to see not just the future, but the best possible future, the greatest possible outcome, and to take steps to make that happen. And I really think that together we can do that. We can make that happen. And I guess helping you find your stories, helping you subsequently potentially help me build this kind of environment to educate, inform, and inspire the world is really what I'm all about. So I have spent 15 years trying to teach people screenwriting. I've come to the point where it's built. I've done it. Fast Screenplay has 2 million words of content. It's there. It's complete. It's everything you need. It's kind of time for me to start maybe focusing on telling the stories that I need to tell and building that side of the process now, rather than obsessing about helping people write screenplays. So I will always be there for people who take the leap and trust Fast Screenplay, and take this plunge with me. I will always be there for people who do fast. But ultimately, I'm going to start migrating towards that new direction. And so that's my why. My why is, in some ways, to inspire and change the world and prepare us for what's to come. So what's your why? And might they align? Might you want to be involved with mine? So thanks very much for watching. I hope this has been inspiring and helpful to you. And leave comments for me below. And we'll see you next time on Screenwriting Uncut. Thanks for watching.